comeback in the last quarter century. So they go up in this series, like I just said, 2-0.
And now that you know what happened, let's discuss how and why it happened. NBA analyst Chiney Ogwumike is here on SportsCenter from her Chiney Ogwumike home studio, which is very nice. Glad to have you with us. Let's talk about the winners winning here. They're down 20. Okay, what did Denver do well? What did the Lakers do poorly that we ended up with the outcome we got?
Look, this is why they are the defending champs. The Lakers had to play a near perfect game to beat the Nuggets, and they almost did it. If we said it in game one, they played, let's say, 25, 30 minutes well. This time they probably played around 42 plus, and still, that's not good enough. If we're looking at the Lakers, they had their big players show up. 80 with 32, LeBron with 26. Speaking of LeBron James, even trying to take over the game late in the fourth quarter, D'Lo bounced back from that 6 for 20 game in game one to have 23 points. But still, even when it comes down to a game of possessions, they know what to do, because when the regular season ended, there were NBA players that were saying this is the best duo in the NBA between Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Now, Nikola Jokic gets a lot of the credit. He had 27, I think 20 and 10 as a triple-double. But Jamal Murray certified it right there. That's why they're defending champs. I mean, to me, it was an amazing finish. The Lakers, versus most NBA teams currently playing in the playoffs, they could have walked away with the win based on how they adjusted and how hard they played. But the Nuggets, I mean, they don't have to play perfect. They can still win with game winners like we just saw.
Before we move on to game 3 and beyond, I just want to know, the Lakers' last shot is LeBron 3. He's wide open. I don't hate that shot. Do I love it?
Look, you can't fault LeBron James, because if you actually look at the numbers, LeBron James is shooting the highest of his career. This guy is in year 21. I think it's 41% from 3. That's also a shot that, as the game was closing down, that he was knocking down. I'm not mad at him taking the shot. I just think that in circumstances, these are the things that get scrutinized, because you're going up against the defending champs who had a game winner on you. If that goes down and the Lakers go back home splitting the series, all right, you're going to feel good, especially we're going to be talking about how he is one of the greats. But the circumstances is you made it through the play-in, now you're in the playoffs, you're going up against the defending champs, you're on the road, and someone just hit an iconic shot against your teammate. Unfortunately, that is the narrative, and it was not necessarily this game coming down to one LeBron James miss.
So let's boil this down to what's going on next. We get to go to L.A., but Denver's won 10 straight games in this thing. So if I'm the Lakers, how do I pretend I can beat this team once, let alone 4 times?
Look, you just keep chipping away, just like this IFB won't let me be great in this segment. It's okay, the Nuggets won't let the Lakers be great, but you keep chipping away. That, to me, is what exactly you do. We've seen adjustments. We've seen the bounce back from D'Lo. You saw how they started the game. They were very intentional. They were very methodical. For game 1, we thought that after halftime, it was a whole different ball game. The Nuggets were able to, find a way to have that run of destruction that I always talk about. For 5 minutes, they dominate the game and they blow it open, whether it is in the second quarter or the fourth quarter. More historically, we've known Golden State for those runs in the third quarter. The Nuggets, the thing that makes them so lethal is that they can do it at any time. So the Lakers, they're putting together more complete games. You have to hope that now you add the home court advantage and then just getting everyone's shots, their integration to being more consistent, knocking down shots. You feel better, but still you're in a hole because you're down 0-2.
They are 0-2. They get to go home, but they have a long way to go against a team that have now lost 10 straight. Sit tight if you would. We have ample time if you want to work on the IFB thing. We're going to talk about the Knicks in a moment, but Nicole, she has people at the podium to worry about. So you handle your business, and Nicole takes care of things here.
Take out this is a coulda, shoulda, woulda moment in some ways for the Lakers. Let's find out what Darvin Ham thinks. He's live at the mic.
Darvin, I guess let's start with the last sequence. LeBron gets loose and gets a really good look, and then just take me through what you saw from there.
Well, they came down and they wanted to get their 2 best players into action, which they did, and Jamal Murray hit a tough shot. AD fading away the baseline to his right. AD outstretched arm, great contest. Kid hit a tough shot.
You guys now 2 games in a row offensively in the second half. They've turned up. They've gone to a different place defensively. What weren't you guys able to get to against their adjustments, and what needs to change moving forwards for you guys second half?
Once we watch the game, we'll figure that out. Again, we played a solid basketball game. Defensively to 3 quarters. That's a tough team. Like you gotta come with it. You can't take any possession off. Ball gets knocked around, falls into Michael Porter Jr.'s hands. He hits a big 3 for them. So we got to be on deck at all times versus this ball club. Offensively, we got some good stuff. Bron had it going. D'Lo had it going from 3. We'll be better from this. Definitely be better from it. But they did what they were supposed to do. They held serve. Again, it's not the first to 1, 2, or 3. It's the first to 4. We just got to go home and do the same, starting with game 3.
Darvin, this was about, obviously, as heartbreaking of a loss as you can kind of have with the buzzer beater. You've been on the other side of that, I'm sure, in other times in your career. What's the key to bouncing back in the next 72 hours and kind of just wiping the slate with this one? Making it about the work and knowing that you still have abundance of life. You still have an abundance of life. But we got to make it about the work and keep it about the work. It's tough. Some tough calls, some tough non-calls. But, you can't use any of that as an excuse. You got to go out there and be ready to make plays, whether the whistle gets blown or not. It's getting real tricky. Go through the season, games being officiated one way, and then you get in the playoffs, and then it's like, I guess it's left to the interpretation of the 3 individual guys that's doing the job out there. But all that said, you just have to know that, it stings. Remember this feeling as we take it back home to L.A., and we got to give them that same feeling in game 3. We can't. That needs to be the sole focus. Recovery process has to start now as filling our cups back up. But game 3, it's all about game 3 right now.
Darvin, AD had the 14 straight makes. I think a lot of those were on Jokic. They switched the coverage and had Gordon on him, and then he got in foul trouble and couldn't defend Jokic one-on-one as much. When that changed, what were you trying to see and what were you trying to get to? So AD.
From the losing side of things to the winning side of things, Michael Malone, after taking a 2-0 series lead over the Lakers.
Give the Lakers a lot of credit. They played great tonight. And I think we're at 5 to go. They're up by 8. And we closed out a 20-10 run, I believe. And for those that have been following us for a long time, that's Jamal Murray right there. I mean, he can struggle, he can struggle, he can struggle. He sees one go in, and he's never shying away from the moment, the spotlight. And that was just an incredible play. They were smart late. They put LeBron on him. They put AD on Nikola so they could switch, and he got to his spot. And it was great because everybody on the team, coaches, players, all night long kept on telling Jamal to stay with it. Stay with it. We know what you're capable of. We need you. And for him to go 6 of 8 in the fourth quarter and score 14 points was amazing. And, yeah, I called the timeout, the possession before we scored. We got the stop, tie game. Why let them get set? Why let them? Because when they can get set and they switch out everything, you might not even get the ball in bounds. So I want to make sure we could just flow into it and let our best players make plays. Nikola Jokic, 27, 20, and 10. Nothing else you can say about him. I thought Aaron Gordon's defense on AD in the second half was incredible. We changed up some matchups, and our guys did a hell of a job of it. But this is just a great example, Vinny, of, as I told them at halftime, like I did not like how we walked off the court at halftime. I felt like we were feeling sorry for ourselves a little bit. They came in, they were kicking our ass, and we dropped our heads. I didn't like our spirit. I didn't like our disposition. And I told them that at halftime. I said, it's a lot of basketball left. Stay with it. You know, this is a funny business, and our guys did that. And it wasn't just the starters. I thought, you know, the guys off the bench may not have been big minutes, but they all did their job. And this was a complete team win.
Coach, you've always talked about the mental toughness of this team and just what they consistently bring to the table. You talked about that with Jamal Murray especially, just to be in that moment heading into half and then to immediately, not even immediately flip the switch, but kind of go down even more after that. Just what does it say about the team sticking with their process?
Oh, it speaks to a team that's got tremendous confidence in themselves and, more importantly, in their collective. I mean, we're a championship team. We're the reigning champs. And, we might get down by 20 points, but, not going to roll over. I mean, that's not who we are. That's not who I am. And that's never been a part of Denver Nugget basketball in these last 9 years. So it speaks to guys just trusting the process, staying with it, making the necessary adjustments. Then guys stepping up. You got to make plays to get back in it and win a game when you're down by 20. And we had a lot of guys step up and make big play after big play. So, yeah, I mean, we did our job. Even though, I thought KCP just said something to the whole room. Enjoy tonight. That was an emotional win, incredible win, in front of an outstanding crowd, best fans in the NBA. Enjoy it tonight. But we just did our job. We won 2 games at home. There's a lot of basketball to be played, and we'll enjoy it tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
Look at the difference the first 3 quarters and then the final quarter for